Okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm done speed tuning anymore. Oh my god, this is just so ridiculous. Okay, and the reason why I say that this is good enough for me is because this is just eating up 3 stamina out of 7 times 15, which is, man, I wish I was born in China. Was at 105 stamina use. So okay, so 108 stamina use. Alright, it's written here, dude. Oh my god, 108 stamina. So 3 out of 108 is really not that much, I think. I think it's something that I can sleep over. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to cover this team that Kid Ninja, or better known as Puzzle-Headed Pop on Reddit, right? So he came up with this team that is very strong. It's seemingly very powerful and it's very effective and it's very fast. Most importantly, it's very fast. But he has a 100% win rate on his lineup and I do not have a 100% win rate. I don't know whether it's like the quality of relics because I'm kind of constrained a little bit on my relics, but I do feel like my relics are pretty good. But maybe it's just not good enough. So these are the stats of my sender and I'm just pushing him away from accuracy, right? Most of you guys would have a lot of accuracy on sender. I personally pushed away from accuracy just so that I can do more damage. So he has really good crit damage, really good crit rate, really good attack, decent speed. Stats like these on a sender is probably like really good, and especially since his HP is also pretty high. So I'm actually squeezing my relics a little bit. And here are the stats of Joser. He has +2, 6, 4, 4. He has 130% crit damage. He has almost 80% accuracy, which is just enough, and 95% crit rate. And here you go. Here's the stats of my Drew, who is slightly on the lower end. He has quite decent attack power here, plus 3k. But crit damage wise, he has only plus 120, which is like quite shit right now. I gave him a little bit of accuracy so that he can land some defense breaks and a little bit of speed. Speed is not so important for Apep, especially on experts like Drew and your Joser. It's not important at all. But 95% crit rate. But if you can push this to 100%, I think this is quite important because there are some experts on the second wave who are Inferno type. Suhua, okay, so she is decently speedy. I would say this is actually rather slow. But I did have to compensate a little bit just to give her more accuracy and to give her the Avatara set here. And I'm currently running very low on Avatara because I don't really farm Apep all that much. Just because Apep is so freaking ridiculously difficult and it made him worse. And now finally Fabrice. So I just gave him as much speed as I can. I do feel like Fabrice with his new kit, okay, with his new R6 kit, granting all other allies speed up for 1 turn, this is really powerful. So he grants himself speed up in most cases as well, right? Or rather in all cases because he's not going to use this on himself. So he's going to gain speed up, he's going to turn cycle a lot, and every time he takes a turn, he does a lot. So he's either giving invincibility, which is really important, and immunity as well, which is also really important, or he's going to grant an ally attack up for 2 turns, give them AP push as well, and then speed up and all that. So him taking a lot of turns is a really good thing. So just try to give him as much speed as you can, and plus 177 is actually quite a good amount, I would think. But I think going upwards to like plus 200 is probably where you might want to try for. So this team is completely free-to-play friendly, right? The team is completely free-to-play friendly, but the relics are completely pay-to-win, freaking whale Leviathan shit here. But you know, this is basically whatever that we have right now in order for us to partake in Apep 16, and unfortunately, this is the truth. Okay, so let's start the run itself, and the way I want to do it is to just pause along the way just to explain what's happening. So Fabrice went first, he used his 3rd skill, so nothing much happened here. Now Suhua is going to buff up, right? And now Sander is going to use his 3rd skill just to kill off one of the targets here. Okay, so he took off the middle guy, and I forgot to press pause, but now Joser goes for another guy, fails to kill. And here's where Drew cleaves. Yep, so that's the end of the first wave. And now for the second wave, Fabrice is going to use his 2nd skill on Drew because Drew is the slowest expert on this lineup here. So Drew takes a turn. Okay, he might have defense broken, but if he didn't defense break, it's still fine. I don't think it really matters all that much. But hopefully, I mean, the best case scenario was for him to defense break so that we can clear this a little bit faster, but that's it, done. Now moving on to the boss wave here. Pause. Okay, so we start off with immunity, which is great. And unfortunately, we do not have our attack buff. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I think it depends on whether we kill the second wave fast enough or something like that. Or maybe I just need to make her a little bit faster. Maybe. So she normal attacks, and the good thing about Suhua is that she has an attack break on her 1st skill, right? 70% chance of inflicting attack down, which I think is quite helpful. And now with defense break and DC is very nice. So one of the ways that this team will lose is if we fail to defense break. Because if we do not defense break, we will not be able to chop his HP fast enough. So we are going to push him down to 50%. About 50%. Ideally below 50%. Because things can go really crazy over here. And yeah, a lot of the reasons why we lose is number 1, defense break, which is very RNG centric because Joser only hits once. So it's quite certain that we might miss a defense break every once in a while. And Drew, if you want to give him more accuracy, you got to compensate on his attack power, which is not a good thing as well. So it is really difficult. It is really, really very difficult. And at the end of the day, it really depends on how well our speed tuning works. Because sometimes he just fucks up, right? Like Fabrice, he doesn't immunity well enough. He doesn't like throw his shit well enough. And our team just get wiped. Like we're gonna get wiped right now. Okay, we're not gonna get wiped. But if Sender didn't take his turn, or if he was stunned, right? There's a chance that your Espers can get stunned by the followers on either side. One of the followers at least. So if your Sender is stunned, or at least if my Sender was stunned in that case, we're also gonna lose because the boss is just gonna take a turn, cleave everything, and we are kind of screwed. So that's the run. I've spent a good 15 hours or so figuring this team out. Like, I've just spent so much time on this. I've played around with so many different Espers as well. I played around with Alexa, who is utter shit for this boss because she only removes 1 debuff on a skill that has 3 turns of cooldown for some reason. And Henry is not good enough as a healer because she's just not able to upkeep the cleansing well enough. So the only way that I found to be effective is to run a team like this that is just pushing very hard, very fast, and just dealing all the damage that we need to do before the boss overwhelms us. Because in this Apep, the most difficult thing about Apep is the fact that the boss is eventually going to overwhelm you with poison debuffs. You're not going to be able to deal with it. So even if you have Espers like Sally and Clara, for example, Hengria, everything, it's not that easy to manage the boss. It's extremely difficult to handle all the poisons. Now, another thing to take note of is for Apep's second skill, Toxic Detonation, which triggers because of his passive. So this thing, right, it actually strips all your buffs before it lands its attack, which means that defense buffs, immunity, yeah, sure. Invincibilities, they do not matter with Toxic Detonation, which is what makes this skill so freaking frustrating. So I can have 2 Espers here granting invincibility to my Espers, but it's not gonna matter because when he Toxic Detonates, everything is gonna go away and my Espers are just gonna die. It sucks. All the poison stacks that they have are just gonna explode. Now, another thing that I need to retract from one of my previous videos, which I think was it my live stream? No, it was one of my complaint videos just a few days ago. So I said that Jinyu Yao sucks for Apep because Apep is immune to poison, which is true. Apep is immune to poison, but you know who doesn't land poisons? Jinyu Yao. So according to the game, the way Jinyu Yao is designed is that she does not actually land poisons, she returns the debuffs to the enemy instead. So as such, you can actually see stuff like Jinyu Yao returning a whole bunch of poisons to the boss. It kind of works, but I might not really recommend it because firstly, you're going to be running a team that is very slow. It is very safe, but it's very slow. At the end of the day, you know, even if you fail like a couple of times, I think it's still good enough. You're not like eating too much into your stamina stash, for example, right? But anyway, this is kind of stupid because you need really good relics in order to farm for relics, which it completely defeats the purpose of farming relics in the first place. This is not even a create a problem, sell the solution thing because you cannot buy relics from anywhere. This is where you get relics. But I think one thing to note is that when I ran Blitz, I realized that, I'm not sure whether is it true, but I realized that my win rate on Blitz is actually lower than me just running multiple battles for some reason. I'm not sure why. But anyway, this is the run, and this is how it's supposed to work, right? So Sander is Fabrice is the fastest, followed by Suhua, followed by Sander, Joza, and finally Drew. So this is the intended speed tuning here. This is exactly how it's supposed to work. So anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions with regards to this team because it really took me a lot of time just to figure this out. And what I realized is that one good way for you to determine whether is your team able to do this is, are you able to drop Apep by 50% HP before he lands his poison attack, or rather before he triggers his passive? If you're not able to drop him down to 50%, chances are your damage is not enough. Yeah, chances are it's not gonna work. So like 54%, we are kind of like not good enough. Ideally, you want to push below 50% so that it's a little bit safer because you have already thrown all your big hits, right? You have thrown all your big attacks, all you're left with are your smaller attacks, and you're now currently trying to deal with the poisons, you're currently trying to deal with his just insane scaling and all that. Like, you're just fighting for your life right now, right? Because you do not have AoE healers on this team. So that's the big problem with Apep right now. But anyway, yeah, like I said, leave your questions down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, oh my god, we are getting screwed. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Derry Free to Play. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Can we please get a win here? Oh my god, this is so freaking frightening. But here you can see the power of Fabrice. Fabrice is really powerful right here. Uh-oh. Okay, we still might do this. Wait, no. Shit. Oh no, Fabrice, no! Oh, freaking hell, man. Okay, I guess we ended with a loss. It's like whatever, right? So it just goes to show that 5% HP that I was missing it was actually quite important because that would have secured better win rates for me. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.